In my last video on empathy, I talked about how important it is to take the perspective of someone else. One of my all-time favorite books to help me understand the perspective of someone else is called There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom by Sachar. I've read it with or to my students every year for the last 18 years. Contrary to what one might think, in today's day and age, it has nothing to do with transgender issues. It was written in the 1980s, and Sachar just thought it was a funny title for a book. It follows the story of Bradley Chalkers, a 10-year-old boy who really struggles in school. Most teachers have had a student like him. I know I have. A student who's not good at school, who acts out, who bullies others. I think most teachers have had somebody like him. At the beginning of the story, the teacher says in front of the class how much she dislikes this kid. Because this story is told from the perspective of this little boy, the reader understands why he behaves the way he does. His mom is very passive. His dad is a little too authoritarian, and it just doesn't make for a good mix. Every year we do a character analysis about Bradley, and the students really begin to understand why he behaves the way he does. They begin to have empathy for the school bully. Then there's a school counselor, Carla Davis, who is my literary hero that comes in and saves the day. She helps Bradley by validating him, and she helps him feel safe and feel loved. Spoiler alert, Bradley changes, and it's a very beautiful ending to a beautiful book. I don't say any of this to justify what Bradley did. He lied. He was a bully. He was mean. I'm not saying any of that's okay. What I'm saying is that reading this book helped me to take the perspective of this kid. And I think this can apply to adults as well. I think that when people are unkind or that are mean or do things that just aren't acceptable, I think it's because they come from a place where they just don't have the tools to be able to communicate in a healthy way. They still need to be held accountable, but they can exist without boundaries. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about boundaries.